Hello everyone, Carrington here from Open Heart Games. We are back with our playthrough of Tyranny of Dragons, one of the first modules to come out for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, and we are getting so close to the end. I would say that we probably have less than 4 sessions remaining in this particular campaign, but not to fret, not to worry. I know that everyone who has been playing and who has been watching has really grown attached to these characters. So we are going to go to 20. After this, we're going to do some homebrew. We're going to do, basically there's going to be a series of 5 missions, however long those take. It could take 5 sessions. It could take 10 sessions. And then we'll do a final climactic battle at the end of those sessions. And once that is complete, then we will start a new campaign. We're still deciding what exactly that will be. But when we are ready to announce what the next campaign that we'll be streaming will be, we will be sure to announce that on our social media. What has everyone been up to lately?
You and I finished a mini campaign yesterday in which we broke into basically Azkaban, captured a big bad, released the big bad evil guy for the main campaign, and were able to successfully escape.
Yep.
And it was a blast. It was all evil characters. We got to make some choices we don't normally make, and it was a lot of fun.
Yep. Be a jerk like you normally aren't. It's great. It's great. I had a lot of fun with that campaign. It was a lot of fun to play. I don't usually play evil characters, so it was a fresh change. And the characters were definitely evil. I will say. So those the first 2 episodes of that currently are on our YouTube page. You can watch those, and the next 2, which is the 4-part series, will be up soon. So you can watch those as you wish. Anyone else have anything that's been going on recently?
Lizzo was in St. Louis this week.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
She was staying at a hotel like a block from where I work.
Oh, that's awesome. Did you see them?
Nah, I wish.
I had my I don't know if I've talked about this on stream before. My one brush with fame. I think I did. I think I talked about this like last time. I don't remember. Was with I had a celebrity brush with Samuel L. Jackson. Was in a sports bar in Chicago, and I walked up to him and I was like, "Hey," and he was just basically like, "Get away from me," which I know, I get it. It was probably the 100th time that had happened that day, but yeah, so. It was an experience because I walked up and was like, "Hey, are you?" And he's like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "Oh, well, that's really," and he's like, "Yep," and I'm just like, "Can I?" He's like, "I'm trying to watch the game," and I was like, "Okay, fair enough," and just walked away. So, but yeah. Has anyone else been watching anything or checking anything out? Oh, we didn't. There was actually one thing that we didn't talk about last time that I completely forgot about, and I definitely wanted to talk about this time, which is that, so Critical Role has a new RPG system that they're working on, and also has, I think, some new board games that they're coming out with. One of them's called Queen by Midnight, and a couple of other things, and that seems pretty cool. Always like to see new cool things. I will say, the stuff that is coming out of Darrington Press, it is very pretty. So
yeah, their graphic team is on point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Super high production value.
Yeah, absolutely. Very high production value. I dropped the link in the chat. But yeah, they have some new games coming out, and some new stuff. They also have, which I already have the game or the book, Tal'Dorei. Reborn, reimagined, redone. You know that one.
I think it's Tal'Dorei Reborn.
Yeah. So, and I will say they do. It's just crisp, just great. They do my favorite thing, which is the back when you open up the book. I have it in the other room. I'm not going to go in and get it. When you open up the back of the book, there's a nice little like folder thing like attached to it, so you can pull out the map, and the map tucks nice and neatly in there. It's not like a rip out or anything like that you get from other books, or just kind of like stuck in there with like sticky tack. It's just like it was designed to be in there. So love the production quality that comes out of there.
I said nice.
Yeah. It also has one of the, and I'm a sucker for this. It has, I think it has just one, but it's got like the nice ribbon, so you can like, has like the built-in bookmark. Maybe next time I'll grab my Tal'Dorei Reborn book and show it off. It's nice, and the art's great. It's got some subclasses in there, so if you're in, if you're into Critical Role and in the world of Tal'Dorei, which Matt Mercer builds a world the way I like worlds built, which is like, you know, there's you have a whole world that's got a lot of cool stuff going on, and it's kind of built on the foundation of like a previous world. So like I'm drawn to, like, if you've never played Numenera is an incredible role-playing system, and it has an amazing world where like the like civilization has reached like the point where the civilization is like manipulating the stars and rewriting their own DNA and, you know, that kind of stuff, and then it comes crashing back down to the Stone Age, and it's done that 8 times, and this is the 9th world. This is the 9th time that so like there are satellites that exist out, and there's actually a class, the wizard class is called the Nano, and you're able to tap into like these different particles and like make stuff happen, you know, by tapping in or hacking in or whatever it is. So everything, you know, seems like magic, but it's you know, high technology or unexplained technology and so on and so forth. So, but yeah, it's a cool role-playing system. You should check it out. I've run it a few times. It's kind of neat because you as the game master never roll any dice. It's all the players rolling the dice, and you just set the DC, and you're like, you have to meet this DC, and then the players roll it. And then when a monster attacks, you set the DC and the players roll, and then they have to meet a DC, otherwise they get hit. So kind of turns that on its head. But it's a, like I said, very, very fun role-playing system, and honestly, maybe even more than the role-playing system, like, the world's just super cool. So highly recommend checking it out. Anyways, anything else anyone wants to talk about before we dive in?
You started on the Critical Role system, but the Unearthed Arcana dropped.
Yes.
Yesterday.
Yes, it did. It did indeed. I was looking at it a little bit yesterday, and it was just right before we were streaming, and I think the coolest thing to bring everyone up to speed about what's going on with this, they basically did like the arcane casters. So they did 3 arcane casters, warlocks, sorcerers, and wizards, and they are trying to make them feel much more unique than they have in previous in the original in like 5th edition. So like, there are specific wizard spells, there are specific warlock spells, there are specific sorcerer spells, as opposed to kind of... But there is also a communal, like, arcane spell pool, which is pretty cool. I'm going to tell you the spell that I am looking forward to most. So there's 2 of them. The first is... What is it called? Modify Spell. So you can, using the arcane formulas in your spell book, you can magically alter a spell you have prepared. You change the spell's color, sound, smell. You can also change it so it doesn't require a verbal, somatic, or material component. It doesn't require concentration, your concentration can't be broken on it. Change the damage type, change the range, change it to a ritual. Cast Fireball as a ritual.
Oh, heck yeah.
Well, here's the problem. You get to do that once. Because you're going to be like, all right, I'm going to go over here, and for 10 minutes, I'm going to cast Fireball. And then I'm going to throw 1 Fireball. I did it. Like, right? So you'd get a free Fireball if you don't get interrupted.
Yeah, but like if you're setting a trap, that's clutch.
Absolutely.
Then you don't waste a spell slot for it.
That is true. The spell affects, so targets, if it affects 1 or more creatures, that doesn't have a range of self. It now affects only your allies or enemies, so you can like increase the size of it, which is kind of cool. The alteration lasts until you cast modify spell again. So you basically just get to modify one spell. It's a 4th level spell. But then we get into the neat one. Create spell. So reaction in response, and it's in response to your self-casting modify spell. Synthesizing your arcane knowledge and power, you strive to create a new spell. To succeed, you must concentrate for an hour, meditate on the spell you just altered with modify spell. Otherwise, the spell fails. If you succeed, you must start casting Scribe Scroll within the next 10 minutes and add the altered page to your spellbook. Once the spell is in your spellbook, it becomes one of your known spells. Gains the Wizard Source tag rather than the Arcane tag, and gains the name of your choice. That's cool. Love that. Hey, I'm gonna take some time, and it's also like, it's just so cool. Yeah. Let's see.
I love that.
Yeah, and also modify spell's a ritual, so it's like you would cast modify spell and then do the like prepare like or the create spell, and you could create your own spells. You could have, Rillick's icy talons, and like, it's magic missile, but it affects more targets, and it blah 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 blah, like does ice damage. Yeah, like that is a really cool ability. And then I'm going to argue immediately against it. That's going to get broken real fast. Someone's going to crunch some numbers and be like, all right, listen, here's what we do.
It costs 1,000 gold of materials.
It does. Yeah.
Yeah.
It does cost, and that is per level. So
yeah, per level.
But it's pretty cool.
For if a DM is like really heavy on giving out coin for things, that's broken.
Mm-hmm.
Like plain and simple, because you're gonna have a wizard that tells the party, "Give me all your gold."
Well, they also said
they're gonna make broken spells.
Yeah, they also said in more of this, like they said that they know that gold is a problem, and they're trying to. I mean, not a problem. So let's say you're playing a fighter, right? Mm-hmm. What you want to do, you're just waiting, right? You're trying to get 1,500 GP. You buy plate, you're done. You don't have to buy anything else. What else would you spend your money on, right? There's nothing else to spend your money on.
A cool sword, a cool whatever.
And that's if your game master allows you to buy magical items, which a lot of times they don't, right?
That's actually a good segue into the weapon mastery changes.
Yeah, that's one of the things
for
that's
the
really
weapons.
Cool. Yeah, so one of the things that they want to do is they want to take weapons, and so for example, if you have a glaive, when you swing with your glaive, you swing and you get to do like a cleave attack against the creatures in front of you. If you have the mastery of that weapon, not just proficiency. And then also, like, if you have a hammer, maybe you strike and you stun someone. And a lot of this, I think, is coming from, like, maybe, like, it feels like Baldur's Gate, having just played that recently. Like, because the weapons, when you have proficiency, you get new attacks with them. And some of them are, like, attack multiple things, or stun someone, or knock them down, or whatever. But the cool thing that the fighter is supposed to be able to get to do is apply those effects regardless of the weapon, right? So you might have a hammer, and you're like, I'm going to do the glaive attack and like hit multiple people. Huh?
He changes what he's mastered.
Yes, changes.
Like at every long rest, he can be like, I'm going to use an axe, and then the next time he's like, I'm going to use a dagger, which their mastery is called Nick. Yep. And if you miss, it still does 1d4 damage.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
and barbarian changes were pretty cool too.
Yeah, the biggest thing.
I'm sorry,
for me,
did you say barbarian changes?
Barbarian changes.
Yeah. So rages are a bonus action to maintain. It no longer just maintains from taking damage
or attacking.
Yeah, it's just you use your bonus action on your turn, and then
I guess I don't really have a bunch of bonus actions that I use, so that's not that big a deal.
Yeah, well, and you can choose to maintain it forever, basically, at that point.
Yeah.
Like, you get to... and then they've changed the lore behind it, where your rage isn't, like, your anger boiling up. It is still, like, a emotional kind of reaction and stuff, but it's a primal magic. Because they split when we talked about the arcane casters, they've got arcane, divine, and primal are the three types of magic. So it's like they're like the druids will use the primal magic versus others, and
sure,
so, but yeah, and then the barbarians also will have like the weapon masteries. So I know that there was one that cleaved, one that pushes back, one that slows.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be really cool.
The things they've worked out, just, I mean, in the early stages kind of things are pretty awesome. So.
For sure. I think it's probably time for us to go ahead and do our intro and a recap, since we spent 20 minutes talking about all kinds of crazy stuff.
I want to talk about the sorcerers. They're my favorite.
I'll let you talk about the sorcerers, and then we'll go into our introduction.
All right, there's two things with sorcerers that I'm super excited about. I've never been excited about sorcerers in my life until I read these new changes. One is their Chaos Bolt, which is the first level spell. You get to roll 2d8 plus a d6 of damage on a hit. You look at your results of your d8s. You pick one of the d8s, and that determines the type of damage, which is awesome. Utterly chaotic, and I love it. The other is a cantrip, and it's Sorcerous Burst. On a hit, you make... This is initial. You make 1d6 damage. You're like, yeah, that's whatever. It's a d6, whatever. If you roll a 6, you get to roll another d6. And then at higher levels, you get more d6s to start off with. And then, most importantly, you get to choose the damage type every time you hit a 6. And it's just utter chaos, and I'm here for it.
Yeah. No, the new rule changes sound really, really cool, and I'm excited for them. I will say one of the things before we dive into our intro, since we're 20 minutes in. I do hope that... My hope for the druid is that some of the things that they kind of proposed were that you get like a land, air, and sea, like, simple beast that does like the three things, but it doesn't have the flavor of, like, you know, actually having spider climb if you turn into a wolf spider, or getting pack tactics or stuff like that. Like, you don't get any of that stuff, and that stuff's a little lost, which is, in my opinion, is a little unfortunate. So I kind of hope that they, I kind of hope that they decide that those three are fine for those classes. Like, those three things are just like here's, if you don't want to think too much, do this. But if you want the ability to, like, play a Circle of the Moon Druid and turn into whatever you want, then here's what you need to do instead. You know what I mean? That's just my personal pet peeve, or my personal opinion, because I understand what they're trying to do is make the class more friendly to, like, newer players, because, you know, you've got a full caster that has a whole bunch of like choices that they can make, and then they also get to transform into a thing, and not only just one thing, they can transform into, like, so many things, that would be overwhelming for a new player. Anyways, hey, welcome to our stream, and let's go ahead and dive right into our introductions. We'll do our recap and we'll jump in. Baylor, please introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jabrilopad in chat, and I will be piloting Baylor, everybody's favorite lovable 6-year-old.
All right, excellent. And Mordock?
I'm Dave. I'm playing Mordock, our Azamar Protector Cleric. And, okay, that's enough. It's just me.
It's just me. Love it. All right, and Patron.
Hello, everyone. I am Brad, also known as Hitohari in chat, and I'll be playing Patron.
Love it. All right, and Rillick.
Hey, this is J-Dub in the morning, and I'm playing Rillick, the Aarakocra Wizard.
All right, and Zed.
Hey everyone, Mage here in chat and on Twitter. I play Zed, the adorable Kobold Monk. who wants to be a dragon when he grows up.
All right. Who would like to handle the what happened last on our last session?
Oh, it's been a while. I'll go for it.
Love it.
So we finally left the Tower of Zonthal
Yep.
as we decided not to do the maze for a third time.
Let's go again. Let's go
Yeah,
again.
It was so fun. Yeah.
Multipass. Sorry.
That's right. Let's see. Patrick decided that we'd take the tree highway, so we found a nearby tree, and whatever the name of that spell is, we teleported back to Waterdeep, where we were. As we were in the outskirts, we were immediately ambushed by some cultists and a couple of wizards. We thought, okay, no big deal. Oh, it was a couple wizards. I think it was 3.
Mm-hmm.
We've really took out one of them with one shot, and somebody had the stupid idea of some civilians coming out to see what all the fuss was about. So we had a bunch of civilians in our way, and then a bunch of cultists showed up behind us, and we thought, okay, still no big deal. Oh, this will be easy until the Black Dragon broke out of a barn. Now, how the Black Dragon got in a barn is, was not very well explained, but it's fantasy, so.
I just imagine that how that happened was just like them coaxing it, like, no, it's just going to be until they get here. It's fine. We'll just wait. How long is it going to be? I don't know. It'll be fine. We'll figure it out. Well, how am I going to eat? We'll just bring you stuff. It'll be fine. We'll figure it out. What if someone comes in and finds me here? You just eat them.
No, I'm sure the dragons don't have any kind of smell, so no one noticed it. But we won't get into how the dragon got there, how the cultists convinced the dragon to just hang out in a barn, because they're not proud or anything. But then we had a big fight with the dragon.
What if it was the dragon's idea?
Yeah, right?
What if the dragon was like, hey, what if this time I ambushed them?
Yeah, what if I was just in this barn and I just hung out here? Okay, well, what happens then? Hear me out. I'm in this barn and I just eat the cows and sheep and stuff and then just wait for them to show up. And then I watch to see how strong they are. And then if I feel like they're too strong, I just leave.
I leave.
So, very good. And then, so what happened then, Mordock?
Let's see. Well, of course, all the ordinary cultists got blasted instantly. They turned into cult sickles. All froze to death. It was terrible. There was much sadness, and
it was pretty cool.
The wizards decided to do that greater invisibility thing. The 2 that remained, which is a really terrible spell. I hate it.
It's so good.
Yeah, well, I discovered there was a spell on my spell list that I can deal with that nonsense now. So, yeah, go ahead and be invisible. See if I care.
Is it see invisibility?
True Sight, I believe.
Ooh, that's a good one.
True Sight's fun.
True Sight is a great one.
Yeah, or True Seeing. Yeah, it's like, oh, I have a spell that could do that. So I had to swap spells out between sessions, so that won't happen to me again.
Nice.
Valdus was trying to find them, and I don't remember exactly. I think they died in a dragon. I don't remember if really got them with another coal, and they just happened to be in the wrong place, or if the dragon killed them. But they died, and then the dragon died. And
wait, you guys killed the dragon without me? Hold on.
Well, yeah, there you go. What does that say? Can you fly?
How do you kill a dragon without Baylor?
Can
disintegrate.
you fly? Yeah, disintegrate. Lots of things that have lots of things that have ranges which you don't have. So.
I have Eldritch Blast that goes 120 feet.
What was that, Zed?
Well, you see, I was trying to convince the Black Dragon that he was my daddy, as I was dressed like a Black Dragon, and Patron gave me a little sip of his his horn thing, and it made me fly. It was beautiful.
Oh, I
Yes.
forgot that thing leveled up, didn't it?
It sure did.
Yeah.
It sure
Oh,
did.
it sure
I think,
did.
I don't remember. Did you get the kill shot on it?
No.
I don't remember.
My question is, Carrington, we killed another dragon.
I'm looking to see who got the kill shot. It was
Oh,
Mordok.
I know who got the
Oh,
kills.
I did?
Yeah.
No, the
Oh.
kill.
It was your guiding bolt.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I upcast the guiding bolt and
Yeah.
pretty much
Yeah.
blasted.
Oh, it only hit for 25 radiant damage. I'm sorry. What was that, Patron?
I was gonna
Well,
say
that's-
we killed another dragon. How close am I to the next one?
And
So
you-
now
What's the counter at? What's my tick up rate?
it needs another. It needs more XP. What was that, Mordok?
So the question that remains at this point is, what is, this is on the, right outside of town of Waterdeep, so not an insignificant place that there's a giant black dragon carcass just laying there that they'll probably want us to clean up.
Loot the bodies and run.
Yeah, it wasn't us. We didn't do it.
Oh, right at the end, we were making our way into town to get ready for council, and we ran into this lady who wouldn't tell us her name.
That was
Right,
true.
and that's where we ended. If I remember right, it was some elf thing.
It was indeed. We'll just throw
And
this.
that's where we stopped. Without leaving a soon-to-be rotting black dragon carcass at the
Yep.
gates of Waterdeep. I'm sure there'll be no questions.
There usually aren't. So the last thing that you remember is that someone approached you, and she said that all would be explained in due time. And she smiles and she says, "I have a proposition for you." What do you say?
Who are you?
Valen will suffice for now, darling. And a modicum of patience.
Can't start a conversation without saying, "Hi, my name is blank."
My name
I
is.
started with, "Hi, my name is Zed."
My name is what?
My name is Zed.
Slim Shady.
Valen will say to you, "I'm so glad that we could meet, because I have something that I can offer to you. The organization that I represent is very interested in the tower that you have taken possession of by right of conquest. As opposed to turning it into some corporate bureaucracy or headquarters, we would like to purchase it from you."
Wait. I just want to pause real quick. We own that tower now?
By right of conquest, of course, darling. That's how these things work, don't you know?
Okay, Moosehorns, Carrington.
Yeah.
Are they? Is this person like BS or
No.
is that a thing in this world?
That's a thing according to her.
Okay.
You currently have the
So we have a magical secret base?
We have a magic deed to a
Kinda.
magic tower. Yo, I don't know if I want to sell this, guys.
I mean,
Do we get all the Zonthals towers?
all the
Yeah,
Zonthals
is this a
towers?
franchise?
Yeah, like
Do we think
the-
like
Well, do we get
Yeah.
Zonthals Tower, the tower, Zonthals Tower, the town, and Zonthals Tower, the tavern?
Only the tower is what
Oh,
we're interested in.
Oh, thank you for explaining. We were trying to
Of
figure out how this whole
course.
magical deed thing
Of
works.
course.
Well, milady, what would you offer in exchange for this magnificent tower that we find ourselves in possession of?
So she's kind of standing like off into like one of the small like alcoves, so it's still in public, right? And she reaches into a bag of holding, and she pulls out a small chest about this big, right? It's about this big. She opens it, and she shows it to you. And inside, it is filled with 500. Okay, 500 platinum bars.
And knowing the math brain in us, what is 500 platinum bars equivalent to?
50,000 gold.
50,000 gold.
And she says,
Well,
she
ahead.
like lifts it up and like opens it and says, this I believe that this will suffice. You notice that each one of them is stamped with a sigil that has a snake, a winged snake on it.
Do I recognize this? Can I roll a history?
History,
yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that's a 7 out of 1. Woo! 14 for me.
Okay.
Not my strong suit.
Passion?
Sorry, I realized I wasn't in BTT.
Guidance, love it.
What? It didn't port? Are you serious?
Oh, what did it give you? Nat 20?
Yes.
Nice.
You want a screenshot? I'll send it to you.
No, I trust you. I believe you. This
I don't send it
I have
over.
a 0 in history. This is like the best.
The best thing that you could have gotten.
Yes.
You realize that these are all stamped with the iconography of the Zentarum. And the Zentarum are a shady black market organization that I love them. They're one of my favorites. They are known as the Black Network, a loose affiliation of merchants, mercenaries, and malefactors. They are the folks that are the smugglers. They are the folks that they are also sellswords, mercenaries, thieves, rogues, and general ne'er-do-wells that exist along the Sword Coast. And some people believe that the Zentarum are evil, but opportunistic is probably more accurate. And she says, so, will this suffice?
First things first, Carrington. Would I know it to be a bad idea to have money marked by the Zentarum?
Not necessarily in this time where there's dragons and everything going. That's pretty loose.
Okay, got it. Patron, you had something.
Okay. So I know who these people are.
Mm-hmm.
I also know that they are smugglers, thieves, and rogues.
Mm-hmm. And general ne'er-do-wells.
Mm-hmm. So that is a large sum of money. Mm-hmm. However, I imagine they could get us just about anything we want for around that sum of money, correct?
Why don't you ask her?
Did we actually know someone from the Zentarum? But I can't remember the Sylvan's name.
Jamma Green.
Yeah,
yeah, that's right.
Didn't she die? Or is she alive? I can't remember.
Alive.
We've met so many people, and
maybe she died.
We're 50-50.
I don't remember. I feel like she ran in and was like, "I'll save everything," and then just ran in and vanished.
I
didn't die on camera.
Can't quite remember. Didn't die on camera. That's fine.
Night Divinity now has a task. Find out if Jamma's alive.
Night Divinity, I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
Help a guy who that was like 40 episodes ago.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I'll look at her and be like, that may just give me 1 second to confer with my my fellow travelers. I will huddle everyone up.
Of course, take all the time you need. She snaps the case shut and tucks it back into her and sticks it back into her bag of holding, and then she takes a step back and just kind of leans against the back of the alcove and just kind of is watching you.
Okay, we're gonna football huddle up real quick.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I don't know that these people are necessarily on the up and up, but I have a strong feeling that they could get us.
She filing her nails.
That we could get just about anything worth that amount of money.
Can we get a griffin?
So possibly, but that's not where I was going with this.
Oh, griffin's possible, darling. Hippogriff.
We're not
Yep.
talking to you.
Hey,
We're talking
hey,
to
hey,
Oh,
Tina,
oh,
we're
I'm
talking
sure.
over here, please. Thank you.
So, what's on everyone's wish list?
That's a
to
great question.
become a dragon.
A griffin.
All right, let me real quick go into here, and I'm going to go ahead because now I'm curious what the party wish list is.
Robe of the Archmage.
Woo!
I mean, how many coins is that worth?
Woo!
I would like an animated shield.
Listen. I'm just asking for a friend because
I
there's
know in
there.
the Critical Role world, I was like reading through because like one of I'll say this here, and hopefully none of my players they're one of that group is about to find a vestige, and I was looking through and I was like, which one should I do? And there's one that's an arcane grimoire that you can write stuff into, and it is ridiculous. So, but anyways, Heroes Feast.
So I need some cash.
Oh. Listen, we could get you the best gem encrusted bowl you've ever wanted. The
Well, but it's consumed.
Is it? Oh, it does consume.
It is consume it.
Because Heroes Feast is a ridiculous spell that I can't cast
Yes.
at the moment because
Correct.
I don't have a ball.
50,000 gold. You could get literal 50 Heroes Feasts. However,
Yes, I know. Which I don't need, but
yeah. Well, I'm just saying, we could always be feasting.
As my theater teacher in high school used to say, we'd eat like kings.
Yep. All right. But all I'm saying is whatever's on your wildest imaginations, just like dip in real quick, think about, figure out what the monetary value of it is, and we might be able to work out something more than just the straight up cash.
So here's what I will do. Out of character, Valen wants to buy this thing from you. I'm gonna go back to this. Valen wants to purchase this the Zonthal's Tower. That is her first thing that she wants. She also has another thing that she wants to task you with.
That's fair, but I'm just saying, like, there's a smuggler's network.
Mhm.
We could probably get just about any magic item we wanted.
That is
Am I
definitely
wrong?
so I'm wondering why an elf is walking around in Waterdeep with
Listen, as
I-
the I'm-
50,000 gold pieces
She-
worth of platinum.
listen.
She told us not to worry about it.
Yeah, she said don't
So,
worry
like,
about it.
So as I know, I think they like I'm leaning on the everyone's just a little opportunistic. It's fine. Like don't worry about it. Like sure, it's a lot of money. Sure, might be a little shady. However, this isn't illegal per se.
I'm not even sure we own it. We
Hey,
own it
well-
because she says we own
Whoa. She says we own it. She thinks we own it. So we should think we own it. And then
We are the rightful owners of that tower.
May I make a point?
Yes.
yes.
What if the gold is stolen and
Well-
we get in trouble when we try to cash it in?
I mean, sure, maybe, possibly. It's stamped.
And how do we know that wasn't an illusion and it's really a bunch of copper?
Well,
Look, I'm
I got
mad
tech
for
magic.
to
I
get
can
something
figure that
instead
out.
of money
I-
anyway.
I think we can figure that out, like before we actually like exchange goods.
We have nothing to exchange.
We've
Stop
got
it.
a tower.
We have a tower.
We have a tower, a town, and a tavern.
All three.
And we get to keep the town and the tavern. She said.
She said all she wants is the tower.
Yeah.
No, Jabril speaking for Baylor. I'm super okay if we want to look for like a tradesies deal instead of moneysies deal.
Okay. Have you had enough time to decide, darlings?
Do we know what we want?
Yes. I feel like we probably can sell you said tower. However, instead of some of that, those platinum bars, maybe a few items you could acquire for us to show up.
Name them.
Well, for my very, very small friend here, I think he has a wish he would like to fulfill. So I'm gonna write on a piece of paper something that I don't want said exactly to Zed. I'm gonna pass it to you, Carrington.
Mm-hmm.
But pass it to you, I mean I'm gonna whisper it to you in Discord.
Okay.
Just trust me, buddy.
Did I just become a Make-A-Wish kid?
You did.
We make a wish kobold, you mean?
Interesting.
Still see nothing.
The wonders of technology, everyone.
For sure.
All right, I've whispered it to you. I'm not sure. I know I misspelled the crap out of that, but and I'm not sure that's the best item, but it's the first thing I can think of.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even know what this does.
Don't look it up. Just give it to us. I'm sure it's fine.
No, see,
Would
the
your
problem.
players try to
The,
have something
the
that's
problem
overpowered?
is the problem is that Brad is in this party. Okay.
He,
Yeah.
And I want to let you know.
He's
he
never done
makes
anything.
a very,
I-
very fair point.
I just want to say this, from me to Brad. There's nothing but love here. There's also no trust, but there's nothing but love.
Listen, I am taking no offense to that statement. I just know exactly what this potion does.
While we're figuring that out, Baylor would like an animated shield if the DM would be so gracious.
An animated shield. This is
I
a
also-
legendary potion. How much?
Oh God, I
Yeah.
did not know it was a legendary potion. Or equivalent thing to level up my my horn faster, because I will gift that to Zed, because once it's leveled up to max, it gets that.
It gets that. Hmm.
It gets that. I would be willing to do that.
Is it only one time, or is it like however many?
No, it's once per long rest.
Once per long rest.
But I feel like Zed's ultimate goal is that thing that I have sent you, and I feel like I should make that thing a wish for Zed. So if that is, I didn't realize it was a legendary potion. However, then something to level up my thing faster for me to hand to Zed, or equivalent.
How much is a supreme healing potion?
Night Divinity, I asked for a griffin. Everybody said no.
I'm pretty sure the only one that outright said no was that.
So I mean, like, so I will let you know right now that like you could get probably, I would say you could probably get like 2 jewel encrusted bowls, one more magical item, and that potion, because that potion is probably worth 40k.
That's fair.
I haven't found like a accurate cost on the animated shield. One 5e magic shop
Yep.
says it ranges between 5,001 to 50k GP, or 50k GP. And then right underneath of that, it says 6,000 GP. So I'm not quite sure what the dealio is on it.
Yeah, there have been several folks that have done some
very rare.
Yeah. Okay. So, I'm gonna say right. Go ahead. Sorry.
Price range for animated shield. The range is gigantic.
Yeah, I imagine so.
Although it does have a price per sane price, which is, I guess, to say, if you were being a kinder DM.
Which is the 5K.
It's actually 6K is the price per kinder.
I would say it's probably, like, since you're getting it through illicit means, it's going to be higher because, like, they got overhead, right?
Yeah, I understand.
So it's probably like 20. I'd guess 15 to 20, somewhere in there.
Best I can do.
Best I can do. Yeah, best I can do.
Yeah.
just her supplier is just the guy from Pawn Stars, complete with the polo.
Look, it's gonna sit on the shelves.
Mm-hmm.
It's whole thing.
All right, let's go fill out some paperwork.
So maybe, oh gosh.
So here's my vote. If you want, I think we can do this off stream. So I think that we can come to a conclusion because she's going to give you another thing she wants you to do, and we can figure out the wish list and all of those kinds of things, and you can say
fair enough. We can haggle the deals
out of character. So you go, we want this, and you hand her a scroll with a whole bunch of things scratched onto it that the rest of the people can't see, and she looks at it and she goes, exquisite tastes. Some of these items will be very hard to come by. And she'll roll up.
Sure.
She'll roll up the scroll, and it will be quite costly. But if
I'm sure, but a magical tower with a secret entrance.
Yes, you are quite right, darling. So this is what I'm going to do for you. I just need for you to fill out just a little bit of paperwork. And she snaps her fingers and a scroll appears. She hands it over to you, and it is essentially a hitherforth and so the area of Zonthal's Tower has then been taken by right of it has been taken by right of conquest by Zed, Mordok, Baelor, Patron, Rillick, and
Valdis.
And Valdis. She adds Valdis in. She says, "Oh, sorry, the details." And it says, "But Heatherforth, known as the party, the adventuring party, or the Heroes of Waterdeep," and it basically just says that you will be gifting this to the Zentarum for riches and magical items in a value to not exceed 50,000 gold pieces. And what we'll do is we will figure out exactly what those are. I'll work on this list, but I am afraid, my darlings, that I do have another task. But if you'll sign this, we can at least have that part of the bargain out of the way.
Can I insight check to make sure that there's nothing like...
Yeah, absolutely.
Or investigation, whichever one you prefer.
Investigation from Baelor, for sure.
Sure. Yeah, no. No.
Seems on the up and up.
Yeah. Baelor signs.
Okay. So, I mean, there is a whole thing about, like, it does say some stuff about timing. Like, you will try and get these as quickly as possible, but doesn't actually give a timeline. So, and it says valued roughly to be values as determined at market price plus interest, so on and so forth.
Fair. Maybe I'll be like, this addendum right here about particular times. I'm not saying it has to be today, but there's no, how do you say, ship by date?
Oh. She looks a little frustrated, and she's just like, tell you what. We can discuss the other contract, and I will work on procuring your list of required items in the meantime. So when you return from your destination, you can have... I will have them all prepared.
Hey, yo, that was mad sus.
I mean, this whole thing's been mad sus.
Listen. 5 minutes ago, we didn't know we owned a tower.
Look.
So
Yeah, and like 10 minutes ago, we were at the tower.
That's irrelevant.
Wait, how did you know we took the tower? I have more questions now. Hold on a second.
10 minutes ago, we were at the tower.
I have way less questions. I
Teleported through a tree, fought a dragon that was hiding in a barn, walked up to this keep, and she's just hanging out there with 50,000 platinum bars.
50,000 in platinum bars, but yeah.
Listen, let's not squabble with the details. Nothing shady here.
So, do you sign after she says that? She scribbles in the words post haste.
I will put an asterisk behind it. Delivery upon date, or some in X number of favors by X date. So if they have not fulfilled promise, we get to ask other things of them by X date.
X equals exactly 2, no more, no less.
Two favors. Okay, fair. So
2 favors. Two.
If they have not given us the magic items by the promised by date.
2 favors that are reasonable, possible, achievable, and not cripplingly expensive. Those are the deals.
Yeah. That's fine. That's fine.
Cool.
Unspecified favors are gold in the smuggler industry, I hear.
But that's only if they don't fulfill the.
That's only if they don't fulfill, which means we have a loophole
interest.
to that's our interest.
But it's the up to the value of 50,000 gold.
Yeah, I understand completely. But when we get to the favors part, we can start haggling some prices.
This has been Contract Law with Carrington.
Yeah, absolutely.
How did the guy who lived in the woods help fix this contract for us? That's a bad idea.
Everybody signs, I assume.
Yep, I'm assuming so. Does Baylor sign? Baylor already signed. Mordock?
Yeah, Baylor already signed.
Yeah, I sign.
Excellent. Patron signed with the addendums. Rillick?
Oh, yeah.
Nativity says I have to deal with this crap at work. My head hurts. All right, and Zed? Does Zed just put ink on claw and just slap the paper?
Actually, Zed doesn't really understand what's going on, and is quite content with Valdis, and dressing up like a dragon. Not needing a whole lot. So he's actually not gonna sign.
Okay. The majority of the adventurers' signatures are sufficient.
Yeah.
With that, she takes the contract. She rolls it up. She pops it into She pops it into the bag of holding, and she says, "Now then, I have a very dangerous mission for you to undertake. How familiar are you with the region of Thay?"
There are people of the red variety there?
There are indeed. So,
Loosely.
we have been approached.
Who's we?
My employers and I have been approached and entrusted with this secret meeting. If you'll accompany me, and she kind of gestures into like a small like conference room.
I mean, sure. Nothing shady going on here.
Oh, like she's asking us to go right now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go into here. She says she wants to meet. She says, the Council of Waterdeep has been approached by a red wizard of Thay named Nim Ilich. He has extended an invitation as an envoy of Thay to discuss ways that the Sword Coast and Thay might aid each other during the current crisis. And you have been asked to represent the Sword Coast in this meeting.
Are they in this meeting room now?
No, it's just her giving you the information.
Aaron can correct me if I'm wrong, but we've seen Red Wizards of Thay with the cultists.
Yeah, you have.
Okay.
We killed like
So-
I mean, so Night Divinity is making fun of my my name here. Num Leech, is that his name? Well, if you can pronounce this consonant key smash, then by all means.
Oh, I heard Mike Illich. And
Nime. Nime Lich?
Not a lich.
Not a lich?
wink, wink, nudge,
yeah.
nudge.
Totally. I'm
Totally
just sad
checking
that
out.
there's not a totally in front of that. Totally not a lich.
This is title.
Excuse me, it's Totally.
Oh yeah, yep. Totally not
Totally
non-lich.
Okay, so,
Anyways,
you know, out of character with this not lich stuff, isn't Zastam like the biggest lich in the world, pretty much? And he's
Yeah.
like the chief red wizard of Thay.
Zaztam is, yeah.
Other than that guy that we killed in the whatever that silly dungeon was.
Yep, and out of character. I know it's like one of the few things I actually like deeply know about Forgotten Realms. Red Wizards are terrible people.
Mm-hmm. They sure are. So she says, after you have been specifically requested to represent the Sword Coast at this meeting, after which you will be returned to Waterdeep. Our assurances from this emissary unharmed.
Might I inquire who specifically requested us?
She kind of leans in and says, as you can understand, with the global politics as they are, dealing and working directly with Thay would be viewed by most of the council and most of the people of the Sword Coast as distasteful at best. So the council has decided, per my recommendation, that this is the correct course of action to take.
Well,
give
my
me
wisdom's-
just a second to roll a wisdom save.
Oh, I
To figure out
rolled.
if I know.
I rolled a wisdom check, but my wisdom's broken today. So
Go.
You have had to partake in clandestine operations before already, so like
Yes.
the Red Wizards of Thay are quite bad, feared, disliked, and so the council would have a lot of trouble trusting or like explaining this to the people of like, going out and saying, we're going to work with the Red Wizards, everyone would be like,
Mhm.
no. And
So, correct me if I'm wrong. This is the second time that the council would like to use us as kind of a go see if this is going to work, because if it fails, you're on your own type thing.
more or less, yes.
Man, what are they paying us?
I don't know. I didn't negotiate that contract. I'm rather new here.
Out of character, I would like to remind everyone how upset Baylor was with the first time that happened.
Okay.
Back in character. Well, all we gotta do is attend some fancy meeting.
Indeed.
What if we don't want him?
Yeah.
Well, that is, that would be unfortunate. Most likely for the people of Faerun, but you see, my employers, they wish to
You
establish...
can say the council.
Well, the council, yes, mostly. But the council doesn't really officially oversee this particular clandestine meeting. That is my forte. Things that require a little more cloak and dagger. So, why should you help me? Well, I will tell you. If you don't want to go, then I'm afraid that I will have to use what information I have to apply a certain amount of pressure. And I would hate to do that.
What do you know?
A very inquisitive kobold. Let's just say that I know that more than one of you have had dealings with the cult of the dragon that would be viewed as unsavory were they ever to reach the public light.
Thank God she didn't mention the bird.
The bird.
Yeah, the bird.
It's a deep cut. Don't worry about it.
It's a good one. That poor raven, still just laying there. Go ahead.
The bird never happened.
Oh my
the
God,
poor-
the bird.
Oh no!
Oh my God.
Allegedly.
That poor bird is just laying there saying, like, I think it all started when those adventurers came to town.
Allegedly.
Allegedly came to town. And then they gaslit me. And anyways, I believe that...
And the worst part is we ghosted him.
Yeah, I think ghosted him. Poor guy. So, I would hate for that information that more than one of you have had dealings with the cult in the past. I would hate for that information to find its way to the light of day. She kind of smiles evilly.
Can't imagine the public would be upset that I think the cultists are a bunch of meanies. So there.
I mean, I don't know everyone's secrets, but I would look around and be like, I kind of have a good idea.
She
Using
kind of
powers of deduction.
slowly walks around the table and kind of gently has her fingers on the table as she walks around, and she says, how do you think the council would feel if they discovered that not one but two members of your party, of this band of heroes that had saved the Sword Coast, were actually former members of the very cult that they were fighting against? How do you think that would go over? I think it would be rather poor. Don't you?
No, I mean, the past is the past.
Two.
And we clearly have demonstrated that we will protect and serve.
What was that, Patrick?
I would like to make it very clear that everyone in this party has done nothing but serve the council. Faithfully, might I add. since we first started dealing with them. So I'm fairly confident they would probably be fine.
Go ahead, Murdoch.
And we're getting a free trip to Thay out of it. Who could resist that?
Indeed. I hear the food is divine. If you can stomach a little, it to be prepared by the undead.
And you're coming with us, right?
I have so many things to attend to here. You see, my official title is now Counselor Valen, and I am a member of the Council of Waterdeep. So you see, my duties unfortunately require me to stay here. But don't worry, we'll be in touch. I'll send some standing stones, and we can chat if we need to.
Seems legit.
She says,
And as long as there's a tree there, we're fine. We can leave whenever we want.
"Oh, your travel has already been arranged." So, it sounds like you don't have any objections and that you're ready to leave immediately.
I think there's one stop we need to make first.
Oh yes, what's that?
Well, that's for us.
That's for
You
you.
can't have all our secrets.
I already have so many. And my
I
agents
could at least use a nap.
and my agents report to me that you are quite, to be quite honest, you are quite busy, quite the busy bees. That you go hither and thither, and even to yawn.
And how is Gemma?
Well, you know. Out of character. I don't even remember if she's alive.
That's why I asked.
Yeah. Wow. Rude. Yeah, we'll find out. We'll find out. Listen, I don't remember. So anyway, she says, do think about what I said. And we can keep, and she looks around the room, we can keep your secrets and your secret history to the cult well covered, and it will never see the light of day. I think that Lady Laurel Silverhand would be quite disappointed if that came to light. And if she knew. Don't you? So, do you have any questions for her, like, what's in it for you? Why do you want us to go?
Yeah. I have a big what's in it for us.
Oh, okay. Well, I will be happy to answer that. What's in it for you? The organization that I represent is interested in expanding into new markets. This is an opportunity for us to officially establish trade with the great and powerful nation of Thay, where none existed before. Imagine being the first faction to establish trade with Thay. They would hold immeasurable power and have all manners of opportunity and access to all manner of magical items, arcane secrets, lore, knowledge, you name it.
Right, that is if you don't kill us as soon as we get back, right?
Oh. She feigns insult. I would never do that. That would just be unkind. She says, this arrangement, this alliance, even with Thay, could open the door to releasing the sanctions that are currently placed on the nation, allowing even more wealth to pour in from Thay. They've had such a hard time in their nation, and they just have so much money. Being able to trade with them openly would just open the floodgates, and we would be there to reap the rewards. And of course,
Listen, Tina. Your name is Tina, right?
Valen, please. Counselor Valen, if you must.
Listen, Valen. I cannot express to you how little I care about whatever you have going on right now.
Even if it makes you rich beyond.
Yeah, quite. I can assure you I do not care about gold. If the rest of the party decides that this is in their best interest, then sure. Otherwise, I'm staying right where I am.
All right, she says. Good.
So you want us to go to Thay, negotiate for their help, and spy on them for Zentarum while we're there.
Of course, and if you wouldn't mind, try to take some time and feel them out. Get the lay of the land. You know, see.
In a land ruled by necromancers.
I didn't say it was going to be an easy negotiation, but I hear the Thayan hospitality is quite kind once you get used to all the dead stares and the weird breathing. And and the occasional attempt for the undead to feed on you. But, whenever you travel further south, there are mosquitoes and things that are as large as a small cat. Every place that you travel is fraught with danger nowadays.
This place sounds like vacation.
See? And she kind
That's
of
all I ever wanted.
She claps you on the shoulder and says, "See, this one understands."
Please don't touch me again.
All right, then.
I feel like that's the most appropriate response anyone's given.
Yeah, she kind of does the clasp on the shoulder, and she's like, "Oh yes, I'll just gesture instead." Yeah, just puts her hand on the table, and it's just "Oh, do you come here to this conference room when I invited you too often?"
Hey, you didn't even need to roll that intimidation check.
I mean,
yep.
Yeah.
So.
Baylor's down for whatever, but if the party decides they're not going, I mean, I'm not going. I would rather sit here and wait for our reward for selling them the tower and go talk to the council, and then we can bring it up with them if they want to.
Yeah, I'm definitely not leaving right away because we're gonna have something that I think we want to keep in safe keepings here. At least that's my personal thought. But we will leave. I think we kind of have to take this. At least 2 of our party members are being blackmailed.
Yep.
Personally, but there is something I would like to drop off in safe hands.
Okay. She says, "So, do we have an agreement? You will go to Thay after you go to whatever safe house that I totally don't know anything about. And meanwhile, you'll meet with this envoy."
Was she lying when she said she didn't know anything about
where you're going?
Yeah.
She is absolutely
100%.
lying. Yeah, she is probably going to. I mean, so with that nat 20, Patron, you know that Zentarum agents exist and have infiltrated every single. If there's a settlement of 10 people, one of them's probably a Zentarum. They have infiltrated every part of society, and they move things through the through the black market and so on and so forth.
They want. I think I got her motivations. I mean, they just want it to be easier.
What do you mean?
They just want trade. They just want it to be easier because they don't have to use the black market as much, which means their costs go down, which means their profit go up.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly her out of character. That is her motivation right now. She sees they have identified an opportunity with this is the first chance that there's an actual way to open a dialogue with a nation that has been essentially shut out of the Sword Coast. And if there's an opportunity to open and figure out trade, wonders beyond, and then because they've been insular and for the longest time. But
I mean, here's the thing: they were isolated for a really good reason. Okay.
Yep. Out of character, yeah, they're real bad people,
Yes.
extra evil with evil cherry on top. like a skull-shaped
undead-
evil cherry.
Undead creation, evil wizardry, sorcery, higher class, slave trade, if I'm not mistaken.
There's if you've seen the D&D movie, I'm gonna say no more.
Yeah.
They do the bad thing, and no qualms. So she is. So you understand her. She looks to you and she says she understands you as well. And she says, "So, it sounds like we have an accord. Our organization, of course, has some dealings on the low with Thay, and we can give you some information about the current dealings in Thay."
Yes, I would like all that information. Any information you have on who's messing with who's doing what, yeah. Give me cliff notes. Give me detailed notes. Autobiographies.
I need a
fine.
one-page cover sheet synopsizing whatever's below it, please. Collated, of course.
Yeah, of
I
course.
need a.
She says, "You will be sent to Thay. You'll discuss the ways that we can work together. You will visit a Thayan embassy. Your visit will only last a few days, but the location of the meeting is non-negotiable. The duties of the Thayan governor, who's to be referred to as the Tharkon. You will meet with them, and unfortunately, she is unable to leave her post, much like I am in my role as being a counselor here. And we have taken the liberty of speaking with Nim, this red wizard, and questioned him in a zone of truth, and all that has been said by this has been confirmed. You should understand that without these red wizards, the Cult of the Dragon's plans will be severely compromised. They could even crumble and prevent whatever terrible destruction they would wrought on the Sword Coast. Moreover, it is common knowledge that Zaz Tam, the leader of Thay, wants all of the Thayan exiles, these red wizards that are working with the Cult of the Dragon, dead in the worst possible way.
Oh, excellent. We have 3 corpses for them.
Deal.
Very good. You'll need to continue killing them, I suppose.
Is there a bounty?
Is there a bounty?
Yeah. You said they wanted them dead real bad.
In the worst way possible. Yes, that is true.
Well,
So,
Didn't we
killed them
freeze?
pretty bad.
Didn't we freeze a bunch into statues and then crumble them?
yeah, you did. You can tell the Thakon there. Perhaps it will be a good icebreaker. I am quite clever. So the council does have reservations, of course, which is why this is a clandestine meeting. But because the Saztam and the Council of Waterdeep both have a common goal, they believe that the invitation is worth accepting. Thay is a very isolated, as you know, and she kind of gestures to Patron, who seems to kind of be the most knowledge about it. Thay is an isolated, arid, wind-swept plateau some 2,500 miles to the east of Waterdeep. Its dark skies are continually clouded by volcanic ash, and the land is defined by the prevalence of undead within its borders. The supreme leader of Thay is the Lich Zaz-Tam, whose council of advisors, the Zulkirs, are also powerful liches themselves. Everyone of consequence in Thay is a spellcaster, and necromancers are common there. In honest, it sounds much like a paradise in my mind. Well, in some ways, other than maybe the undead thing. That's a bit weird. Many of the undead are servants, and many commanders are also free-thinking undead soldiers, such as vampires or Death Knights or Wights and things like this. travel to the land, travelers in the land must be very wary of the strange and twisted politics and rampant paranoia of the mentality. Necromancers commanding the top of the social order, and as much as the threats of the undead and the red wizards that dwell there. It is a place that is fraught with extraordinary danger. But for you, also opportunity for great wealth. She says, I have arranged, and you notice that there is actually, like, on the table, there is a small, like, scroll case. She says, I have arranged this from the Council of Waterdeep. These, go ahead.
I was gonna say, open it.
Okay. Inside are sealed warrants indicating that you are acting on behalf of the Zentarum and Associates, aka Council of Waterdeep, aka not really, aka but really. This should offer you protection as you are acting as our proxies and agents while you are in Waterdeep, or while you are in Thay.
So essentially, these are our diplomatic documents.
Yes, as you will be traveling as emissaries, perhaps. And she kind of like touches like Patron's clothing, and it's just like, perhaps visit the tailor before you go. Just, you know.
Whoa, 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 whoa! I have the finest cloak of all time.
Yes, the cloak is fine, but
quite literally.
Yeah, but the cloak is fine, but she says, but the rest of it is a bit battle worn, don't you think? You know, battle worn clothing is just so passé now these days. Don't tell Onthor Froom I said that, of course. And she says, go ahead.
What? Wait, wasn't Onthar my connection, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, we have the same opinion. Clothing's clothing. Wear it until it's gone.
Yep. You see, Valen is very like finely dressed. Like it's armor, but it's very decorative. Lots of like blacks and purples and stuff like that. And she has a rapier at her side, and she wears like a long black flowing cloak. She kind of like fiddles with a ring that she has on her on her finger. But yep, and she says, I would advise that you address anyone of importance differentially by their title, such as Council of Valen, or and she looks at Patron, Druid Patron, and then just kind of looks off. Whatever their preferential title is, never by their name. Does anyone have the noble background? I think the answer is no.
I don't think I do.
No, Dragon Scholar.
Okay.
Mine's Inheritor.
What is relics?
Acolyte.
Okay. That's just my quick primer on interacting with those in Thay. Also, anyone who knows any necromantic magic, feel free to show it off. But I would avoid any of that kindly thing, turning the undead or openly displaying holy symbols. That may be viewed as offensive to their sensibilities.
Gotcha. No leaving wooden birds on tables. Understood.
I would avoid it. So with that, she says, feel free to make your. Do you have any further questions for me?
How do we get there?
How do we get there, Counselor Valen? It's good practice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, when you are ready to depart, you can return here, where the you can return to this room, where the where Nim will transport you there by magical means. From there, you will be teleported to Nethwatch Keep in the Thaw of. God, all of these words are great. Of Lapendar, which is just inside the Thayan frontier. So, do you have any further questions? Out of character, I'm just gonna run through it. Does Baylor have any questions or concerns or thoughts or feelings?
No. Nope. I mean, not that are gonna like affect where we go or what we do. I know somebody wants to drop something off somewhere, so.
Okay. Mordok.
Nope, good, let's go.
All right. Patron will come back to you because you have a thing. Well, I guess we can ask Patron. Patron, do you have anything?
Thoughts, concerns, or feelings about this? Oh, this is a terrible idea, but sure, let's do it.
Love it. Rillick?
All I want to do is see if we can take a long rest.
Yeah, long rest. Done.
Yeah.
All right. Zed?
I got a bad feeling about it. But as long as I got my friends, we good.
All right, I'm long rested. Let's go kill
Out of
some
character,
mages.
Patron. What do you want to drop off?
Oh,
The mask.
yeah, 100%. 100% ain't taking that into the middle of the day.
Okay.
Oh, I'll hold on to it.
I'm not
I'm
telling
sure you
her
would.
that. Like that. This is
No, that was mad out of character.
yeah. This is mad out of
Who
character.
are you going to drop it off with?
Probably my boy.
Oh, hand it off to Arthur Firm?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he's the person I trust the most.
Okay. Outside of the party, you mean?
Yeah, outside of the party, he's the person I trust the most. The only other person I would trust about as much is oh god, the monk we were friends with.
No.
Leosin?
You know, yeah, Leosin.
Aranthar?
Leo.
Yeah, that's my two that I trust outside this party more than just
As
about
you
every
are-
other character.
So with that, Valen will say, well, this has been an absolute pleasure. You're all just darlings. And she just pats Zed on the head, and she
Didn't ask for that. You gotta ask to touch me.
very
He
good.
breathes fire now. It's true. You should ask.
Duly noted. You are a very eclectic bunch. It has been an absolute. There's a Zed pat on in chat. Love it. It has been an absolute pleasure.
First off, where did that come from? And I need it.
It's shameless plug. If you like Zed
Plug away.
and want Zed emotes, subscribe to my Twitch and drop your Amazon Prime there. And all of my emotes are Zed.
Nice.
And will always be Zed.
Very nice. All right, and so so she says, "Well, it has been an absolute pleasure. I hope that you don't end up dead or undead, and that we can continue to do business. I'll work on the list, and I do hope that we will continue to have a mutually beneficial relationship to each other. So looking forward to it." And with that, she opens up the doors, and she leaves gracefully. All right, on your way to Counselor Froom's office to drop off the mask, there's a thing that I want to point out. So there's been some blackmail that's happened. Does anyone want to talk about it?
Oh, out of character. I definitely sent some et tu brutes.
So what do you want to say?
I personally, as patron, trust everyone.
Sure.
And I'm all for if it's in the past, it's in the past, and I won't say a word.
Will you say those words?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I don't care.
Say what you
Doesn't
want to
matter.
say at the party.
Before anyone accuses anyone of anything, who cares? We know each other. But we got a stop to make.
Okay. Does anyone want to say anything else?
Patron,
Yes.
were you part of the cult?
Absolutely not.
You seem like you might have been part of the cult.
You should insight check me.
I have +0 to insight.
You should insight check me.
I'm here for it.
16, let's go.
All right. You're not sure if Patron was part of the cult. You don't think so, but you're in a room. You think you're in a room, but you've been wrong before.
Yeah. That's a 16. That's what he gets off a 16 from
I think
a
it's
person.
you're very confident that he was not a part of a cult. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Does anyone else want to say anything? Patron said his piece. Baylor said his piece. Zed?
Well, we've done a little bit too much together for anyone to do any backstabbing at this point. We've had 2 masks in our hands and nothing's happened. So, yeah, whatever happened. We've come to get to know each other, and you're my buds, and I take care of my buds. Except for you, Relic, you bird-looking thing.
Poor Relic.
Jesus Christ.
Which is hilarious because because what I was gonna say is I was like, look, as long as y'all are helping me kill cultists, I won't have to freeze any of you. So it's like
It just came out of nowhere.
I didn't realize there was a
No.
Zed Rillick beef
I
going on.
didn't know either. So Jesus.
Where did it come from?
I don't know. Where did it go?
Out of character. There isn't a beef. I just said something for content. So you're welcome.
So
There
you're
is now a beef.
I was gonna
You have
say,
to live with that
now there
decision.
is a beef. There has always been a beef.
No. Now there's a chicken.
Now it's a chicken. Night Divinity says, go ahead.
I will say if we really want to like dig deep, Zed doesn't want to kill dragons. Rillick loves to kill dragons.
Nope. Disintegrated a dragon.
In fact, disintegrated a dragon in
I-
front of Zed's eyes. Like
I was gonna say I've been pretty Rillick, not J-Dub, but Rillick has been very talking down to Zed of how naive and stupid he is about liking dragons. So
The beef has always existed.
it has always existed.
Oh God, we just
There it
discovered it.
exists. However, in this particular moment, I said it for content, and it delivered. So
Yeah.
you're welcome.
And so
Most of Night Divinity has a point. Not only do you disintegrate a dragon, you disintegrated Lenny.
yeah.
Lenny was kind of being rude though.
I
Honestly.
never met him.
Listen, you cast major image one time, make a copy yourself, throw it over there, trick the party, they waste their spells on it, you pop up, line attack all of them, and suddenly you're the bad guy? I don't get it.
I'm just sad that I forgot that blue dragons had a burrow speed.
Me
That was
too.
I'm gonna say
That
right
was the
now
most beautiful realization I've ever
Yeah.
experienced live.
that fight is one of the best dragon fights I've ever had in the history of running this game. It was so much fun. just to be like, all right, well, this is a problem. How am I going to solve it? Well, I've got burrow speed. I wonder if Brad knows that. Well, we're going to find out.
Normally,
the answer was no.
I would, but I completely forgot.
Yep.
To be fair, I wasn't trying to metagame either. I was just like, oh, this idea sounds great, and then forgot completely.
Oh, man. Yeah, what a great fight. All right, so we, yeah, this has been hilarious. Okay, so yes, disintegrated Lenny, as you said. So, Mordok, do you have anything to add to this?
No, I'm good. Let's go.
Yeah.
Something a former cultist would say.
That's right.
All right. Well,
I mean, for funsies, my money is number one on Baylor.
Agreed.
And I'm feeling very accused right now.
I was split between Mordok and Rillick initially.
So,
Rillick actually thinks Zed was in the cult. Now,
is it
well, because
he already doesn't trust him.
One, he's a kobold who's dressed like a dragon.
Right.
No offense, Zed.
You kind of scream dragon cultist.
It's the joke that keeps on giving.
Screams for the content.
Said, I think we're a little too far in to backstab each other at this point.
Which is
would agree.
Which is what Zed said.
However, if it happens, it's going to be epic.
All right, I'm going to need to see a few of you after the stream. Okay, kidding.
Damn, I got called to the principal's office again.
Just pull someone aside and be like, I'm gonna need to Winter Soldier you real quick. Freight car. Anyways.
So I'm not gonna be stealing the hand and eye of Vecna at the end of this. Okay.
I mean, someone did that.
Yeah.
Okay, Joe Manganiello.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard the interview of him after he stole the hand? We're getting way off topic.
That was great.
Where go ahead, sorry.
No, I was just gonna say it was great. Go ahead.
So the story that he tells is he was at, I think this is correct. It might be wrong. It was at someone's wedding. I think it was at Matt Mercer's wedding, and people were coming up to him, talking like he was the Godfather, like talking about like how awesome it was that he stole the hand of Vecna, and like telling their own stories, and then a line formed of people talking to him about how awesome it was that he took the hand of Vecna. Like, that's awesome. Great content.
And his wife was like, "What the crap?"
Yeah, what is happening? It's great stuff. All right, so we're leaving. We're going. So you leave. You drop off the mask at Ontharr Froom's office. He's not there right now because one of his aides is confused. Takes it, puts it in his desk, and locks it. And then we'll.
I'm a bit concerned with the fact that his aides have a key to his desk, but whatever.
I mean, if what's his name is around, I would have it Leosin. I would hand it to him.
Okay.
Also, if I could find one of them in person, I would hand it over.
Make me an investigation check. See if you can find them. I'll just do one investigation check. Maybe. Okay, 18, yeah. So you find Leosin. He says, my friends, thank you so much. I will hold on to this while you are in visiting family.
I will tell him, Leosin, I trust you completely. Keep this safe, keep it secret, and only trust Ontharr with it.
Of course. I have heard that you have met our new esteemed colleague. The new counselor.
I have.
What is your read on her?
Yeah, I don't know if you know this, but she's probably a really bad person.
Well, she's definitely shady.
And as long as there's money in it, you can trust her. If she has something to gain.
Although, look over every contract twice.
Well, thank you. I will be sure to do that. Good luck on your mission.
Oh,
Thanks,
and
Leo.
and there might be a dragon carcass outside of town. You might want to send some people to
Oh my.
clean up.
Oh my. Indeed.
I thought Waterdeep was protected from dragons, but apparently not.
All right. So Leosin kind of like, fiddles with his hands and is just like, I'm gonna get this somewhere safe. Thank you so much. And with that, he leaves.
I just want to say I've been booby trapped.
What do you mean?
My girlfriend told me there was salsa in the other room. She didn't tell me it was the spiciest salsa in the world.
Sorry for your loss.
Nice.
Godspeed, my friend.
All
Roll
right.
better Constitution checks.
Oh, I've lost it already. I'm crying.
So so you go back into the conference room. And they're sitting in like black robes is a Thayan wizard. And the Thayan wizard rises, Nim does, and says, it's a female wizard, and she says, "Are you prepared to travel to the land of death?"
I'm
Why
sorry,
you
you're gonna have to
whisper?
speak
I'm
up.
already
I
there.
can't hear you.
Are you prepared to travel to the land of death?
Now, see, you tape it
I'm
off again. I
still
didn't catch
so
the
already
last
there.
part.
Oh, am I tapering off?
You need to say it with your chest, not your throat.
Are you prepared to travel
There we go.
to the land of death?
That's funny. Sounds like vacation. But
I think we're supposed to go to Thay.
that's just one to the left of the land of death. But I get
Ah,
people
okay.
make the mistake.
Yeah.
I see. Come, we will leave. She puts out her hands as if she wants you to take them.
Might I inquire your title? I apologize, I've forgotten.
I have no title.
Very well.
And she puts out her hands and wants you to join in a
I'll try to hold
He just said, BRB, need more water, oh god. Can someone check on
Baylor's-
Patron?
Baylor's gonna try to hold her hand.
when the good berries are too spicy. All right, so she'll put out her hands, and will everyone take the hands?
Yeah, I'm gonna grab her hand.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess so.
So she takes the hand, and her eyes roll back into her head, and she begins chanting, and then suddenly you're transported to, everything starts swirling and whooshing, and suddenly there's sand around you, and suddenly you whoosh, disappear, and you appear at Netherwatch Keep. The area is... It is a very the area is very arid. You can feel the wind whipping around you as you approach. And this keep is like made of like almost obsidian, and everything out here looks terrible. The fortress does seem it looks very impressive, as it is kind of designed to be kind of a border fortress, like to protect the Thayan frontier. Come, we must go into the fortress. And she begins. You don't even see her feet move. She almost seems like she's floating.
That's a neat trick.
Real quick, I'm gonna throw us back while we're waiting on Patron. Back in the in Waterdeep, Leosin has the dragon mask, puts it into a bag of holding, takes off the ring where ebony skin or like obsidian skin and long white hair as Valen takes off the ring of disguise, flips it into the air and says, all too easy.
Come on!
Oh, what did I miss?
Valen has the mask. There you
We've
go.
been bamboozled.
What? No.
Yeah, we've been hoodwinked.
That pesky disguise self.
They had a ring of disguise.
I gave one clue. I said Leosin fidgets with his hands because she was fidgeting with a ring. And you also found out that Valen is a drow, out of character. Before, she just looked like an elf. Because drow are unpopular in Waterdeep, turns out weird.
Well, turns out she's gonna not be very happy when we get back.
Oh, maybe we should give it back.
Maybe. Maybe we'll just take it back.
Oof. Yikes. All right. So you've made it here to this fortress. You're assigned as you walk in. There are actually like all of these like undead that they wear veils to kind of cover their face, and they approach you silently, without expressionless, and they just gesture you to the rooms. Do you follow?
Yeah?
Yeah, why
It'd
not?
be a bad time to cast
Get in Rome.
Channel Devoted, right?
And they begin walking off.
Yeah, no, I would keep that in your pocket unless it's thermonuclear.
No, I don't think I can kill them all. Not with...
Yeah. You make your way here. You're assigned to individual but extraordinarily luxurious rooms, like just the lap of luxury. Each of you have your own baths. The pillows are incredibly soft, like finest silk sheets, and like beautiful tapestries, and little mints on the pillows. Like everything has been thought of. Like the beds themselves, like just like hospital creases. Just, I mean, it is like immaculate. Everything is just so. The pillars are marble, and it's even a little bit brighter in here. Like they're trying to make sure that people feel welcome. Welcome to our place of death and destruction and awfulness.
All of that's really cool, but like they did it with magic, so
So it's not nearly as impressive.
like Baylor would be like, I mean, they did it with magic, so it's not that hard.
Dinner will be served promptly at sundown. I do hope you will join us.
How long till sundown?
We'll say not too long. So she hovers where she needs to. All right.
Baylor will take a bath because he smells really bad.
Okay. Does anyone else do anything before dinner?
Patron would like to read up on all the notes we were given about the deets of everyone. I asked for it in triplicate with source citing.
Sure. The big thing that you need to know is that the keep, Nethwatch Keep, is under the command of Tharkon Eslud. Oh man. I'm gonna put this in chat, and y'all can just.
Yeah, Tharkon's easier to say.
It sure is. Eseldra? Eseldrieth, I think. Again, I've said this multiple times on stream. My superpower, butchering names. I'm great at it. Incredible. You've never met a better name butcher than me. I'll just
My
cut it.
superpower, making up names.
Yep. Eseldra Yeth. Okay, cool. Cool. So that is her name. Tharkon Eseldra Yeth.
Sarkon.
Yep, Tharkon.
On these notes.
Or I think it actually might be Tharchion. It's a pretty cool. This is a pretty cool word. I think it's actually French. Tharchion. All right. So,
God, I can't even think about a dinner net right now. My tongue is on fire.
all right. So, I guess we'll just go down. So Baylor takes a bath and kind of like gets prepared for dinner. What does Mordok do? Remember, each of you have your own individual rooms.
I'm just waiting.
Just waiting. Okay.
Yeah.
What about
Yeah.
What about Patron?
You ever seen a bear in a bathtub sudsed up?
No, but I'm imagining it. Just sitting in there as a bear.
Yeah, why not?
Okay. Rillick, what are you doing? Have you ever seen a bird in the bathtub?
I was gonna say. I'm using that little pouch that makes my feathers waterproof so I can get in the bath.
Love it.
That's some avian humor for chat.
Yeah. A certain
That's-
ornithological joke.
Yeah.
The avian variety.
Yep, there you go. Okay. And Zed?
I'm teaching Valdis the joy of jumping on the bed.
Oh, Valdis will do the same. And throw pillows everywhere. Throw the throw pillows, because that's what they're for, throwing. Throw pillows are for throwing. Tell your friends.
That's why they're called throw pillows.
All right. So,
And then we get into a little pillow fight because Valdis threw one at me and I thought it was a game. So then I threw one back, and the next thing you know, we're just kind of bopping each other, and then we get all tired out and we curl up in a little ball and we wait for dinner.
all right, cool. Dinner. Dinner occurs. Sundown occurs. And there is. You are invited to sit down. You are joined by 10 red wizards that are equally as creepy as the as Nin. They just kind of like float down, and they take their seats. There are also several undead servants that are nearby. Do you all sit?
Sure.
Yes.
Okay. The head of the table is empty.
I ordered room service.
So you all come down.
Completely dismisses. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So you all come down.
For Zed's safety, he ignored you.
Yep. Sit down.
Yes.
As soon as the sun goes down over the horizon and darkness begins to fall.
The plates come alive and sing a musical number.
The red wizards.
Magical broom
the
starts
the red wizards could just be like animate all the objects and then make that happen. I just want you to know that is on the table.
No, 100%. Yeah.
Literally, not going to happen, but it is there. So as
Dang it. I was going to say literally.
As the sun goes down, vanishes. Suddenly, an elegant, like dressed to the nines, wearing a tiara, and wearing elaborate jewels, long flowing robes. The Tharkon makes her entrance. You can tell by her by her deathly pallor that she is undead. She walks down gracefully. It's as if her feet don't even touch, but you like she's not floating, but you can see that she like gracefully walks down the stairs and she sits She and all as she approaches, all the red wizards like silently stand up. Do you do the same?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Baylor?
Sure.
When in Rome.
Does Baylor stand?
Yeah.
Okay. She walks in. She then comes around and she sits. And with that, the red wizards sit.
Now, you said her name. Did you say her title?
Her name is Tharkion, or Tharkon. I don't know.
Darkon is her title?
Tharkon is her title. Tharkon Iseldra Yeth, and she gestures to one of her servants. They bring over a tray with, and on it is laid all of the letters of marque, the warrants. She takes a bejeweled dagger. She takes the first. Gracefully. Pulls it out. Sets it down. Eyeing each of you in turn. Eyeing you like you're what's for dinner. The second.
Baylor's very clueless right now, just picking his teeth.
And the third. So she looks at Baylor first. Then to Mordaunt. To Patron. To Rillick. And then finally to Zed. She looks at Zed, who's dressed like a dragon. She takes the jeweled dagger, carefully sets it on the tray, and dismisses the servant. We find ourselves bound in common cause against common enemies. Those who sought to destroy us in ages past now seek to destroy you. Our thirst for vengeance is strong, as is your thirst for continued life. Our enemy has become your enemy. We know their weakness and ways of destroying them forever, without destroying their usefulness. You have the opportunity to discover their hiding places in your struggle against their cult allies. Together, we can remove them as a threat to us both. Our agent, Nim, will return with you to your city of Waterdeep, there to serve as our liaison to your council. What you learn of the enemy, she will relay to us by means of our own. You will only need to find the enemy. We will deal with them as is our custom. I am authorized by our eternal master, Zaz-Tam, to say these things, for I act in his name. We may begin dinner. With that, the undead servants that were previously standing behind you, holding like covered silver trays, like step forward and then just reveal them and set them in front of you. Your silverware, everything is just immaculately placed. The table runner is this like blood red and all of this.
Baylor will lean over to whoever is closest to him, that is obviously one of the party members, and as quietly as possible whisper, "Hey, do you know, like, for sure who the enemy is here?"
Pretty sure it's the cult.
Okay, I'm just checking.
She seems to be watching you and she says, "Please, eat, feast, and be merry."
And what is it that undead serve for dinner, Carrington?
What is it the undead serve for dinner? So you open it up, and what is Baylor's favorite food? What does Baylor really like?
Literally have never thought
Mushrooms.
of this, Carrington.
Yeah.
How? Why? Probably just like roasted meat.
Okay, it's like a roasted, there's like a roasted beast of some kind. Like clearly it was a beast, not a person. Roasted meat. It has like herbs and spices and some like tubers and things like that. Like looks pretty good. In front of Mordok, what does Mordok like to eat?
Well, I discovered recently this new thing in Waterdeep called pizza. So
You go to so we go to a fine restaurant and Mordok gets a pizza. It's like a very a really like on this long tray. There's like this like almost like if you're gonna order pizza here, we're gonna make it fancy and it's like on like these like hard, like not hard but like bread that's
made with goat cheese.
Yeah, it's made with like goat cheese, and it has like pepperoni that's been made from like cured sausage and
the good stuff.
yeah, absolutely, and it's like all served on like instead of pizza bread, it's like on crostinis. It's like it's really good.
Yeah,
Balsamic glaze.
Artisanal pizza.
Yeah, artisanal pizza, chef's kiss.
Yeah, with a cheese stuffed in the crust.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. And what about Patron?
God. Gosh. Patron's favorite food. Well, first off, I don't know that he has a favorite food. He loves all food. However, alcohol specifically.
Yeah, so you just open it up and it's just literally just a giant mug of beer. But then you grab it and it's just cake. No.
Oh, craft beer? Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it's like a nice, yeah, sure, that, and then there's also like some, like potatoes and things around it. I think that would be good. Maybe also some like maybe a smorgasbord with a nice ale. How's that?
Down.
What about Rillick?
It's kind of like whatever medieval sushi would look like.
Okay.
It's like raw fish.
Okay.
On like some grains.
Does he eat it like an egret, just like ah?
Yeah, he just pecks at the table.
I was about to ask, is there like seagull in your like lineage?
All right, and what about Zed?
Zed has a very simple taste. It is these little cubes, sometimes strips, sometimes weird funky shapes. They're breaded and fried chicken with fried potatoes.
Are they some? Did you get nuggets?
You bet your sweet bippy I did. I'm a child.
That's fine. All right, so you get that. Go ahead.
I get some tater tots.
And some tater tots. I will say, I have. There's a special place in my heart for a good tater tot. All right, so as you all reveal these food, you're like, oh, this doesn't look so bad. It tastes good. Doesn't appear to be poisoned. Anything like that. I just imagine like in the kitchen right now, there's just like a chef that is just screaming at a bunch of zombies like, where is the undead lamb sauce? Like, just the whole time. And then just like, what are you? And the zombie's just like, yeah. Exactly. Get out of my kitchen.
Subtitled Idiot Sandwich.
Yeah, exactly. Also, JW in the Morning says, I assume the nuggies are dragon-shaped. And they are, absolutely. One of each, there's a red dragon and a black dragon and a blue dragon. All right.
Dino nuggies.
So the Tharkon waits for you all to eat, and she said, and then she gestures to the to one of the servants, and the servant brings in a human, and and the human is carrying a tray with a dagger on it. And she just waves, and the human extends his arm, and the undead cuts it and pours the blood into a cup.
Hey, yo.
When that is complete, the servant then wraps his robe around this, or the human does, and leaves. And the undead carefully brings the cup down and sets it in front of the Tharkon.
Well, Tharkon's a vampire.
There you go. The Tharkon takes the crimson liquid and swirls it around in her glass, and then she says, "To the beginning of a beautiful alliance." And she swirls it around, smells.
God. I'm definitely not going to tell her I prepared daylight.
And then I learned something about daylight, which I'll share in a minute. And then takes a drink, sets the glass down. Her eyes are now blood red, glowing red. And she says, "Tell me, what news from the Sword Coast? We don't accept many visitors here in our humble fortress of Nethwatch Keep. I do hope that you will extend an invitation for the council to join us and speak highly of our hospitality." So she asks what news you have.
Oh gosh, what news do we have?
Well, the cult is kind of trying to take over everything right now. Let's see, there's dragons everywhere.
How unfortunate for everyone.
It's kind of inconvenient.
Several of your brethren, Tharkon, have turned to aid the dragons.
She
that too.
slams her hand on the table, causing plates to. She slams her hand on the table, and causing plates and silverware and glasses to shift and all of that. And you notice that she actually has put a crack in the marble table. You will pardon my indiscretion. They are no longer our brethren. They do not speak for us. They do not represent us. They are a disease. They have chosen a path away from the guidance and gaze of Zaz-Tam, and they have chosen death when they could have been given eternal life.
Then it is convenient that the ones we have met will no longer plague you.
How do you mean?
They're dead.
You see an evil smile curl across her lips as her fangs appear. She says,
I describe a ice sculpture that is fallen apart.
I see. How interesting. You are heroes, and yet you have a penchant for death. How very
It's
interesting.
kind of my thing.
She says, "What more do you know of the cult's plans? What are they trying to do? It seems that they are hell-bent on something. They must have a goal if they have included our former brethren." She kind of
They're trying to buy a timeshare.
Do we at this point we've figured out they're trying to summon Tiamat based on all the clues
the worst kept secret in Faerun.
Yeah, the worst kept secret in Faerun because they've literally said it. Do I know the Red Wizard's feelings towards Tiamat?
I mean, summoning dragon goddess to mortal realm equal bad for everyone, probably.
Then I'll just straight up tell her.
What do you say?
I feel like the cult's plan is to assemble a horde and treasure grand enough to help bring their god into the material plane.
No, you're absolutely correct. That's what they're doing.
Tharkon, they are attempting to unite the dragon masks for some reason. And what's his name? Zastam? No. Zastam's wrong. Severin.
Severin.
Right. Severin. And Severin appears to be leading this cult and attempting to get the dragon masks all in one place. We have thwarted them a number of times. But we don't know how much longer we can keep this up. For we are few and they are many.
And so you would come to us for aid. Of course, it is natural for those who are weak to seek strength in times of crisis.
I'll put a hand over Baylor's mouth.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is he choking on food?
Yes, of course. Please forgive him.
I am licking the inside of Patron's hand.
I grew up in the wild. Do you think that bothers me?
Joke's on you. My hands are dirty. No.
Yeah, joke's on you. You don't want to know where the hands are.
No, why'd you make it weird? Anyways, She says, "Tell me, why does this one dress in such a manner?" And gestures to Zed.
So,
I'm gonna let one of you all explain it.
he dreams of one day surpassing his current mortal coil and becoming as one with the powerful beings he can.
And do you find it helpful to indulge his delusion?
Yeah, that little one right there is quite fierce in a fist fight.
Quite fierce in a fist fight. Very interesting. I see that you are accompanied by a black dragon as well. You keep interesting company.
Yeah, I'll toss some food to Valdis and scritch Valdis's head.
Valdis catches it.
Valdis can have like the remnants of my beast shank.
Patron will look at Valdis and be like, yes, we are raising this one far from the cult.
I see. She gestures to Mordok. You are the only one that has respected my title, which tells me that you are...
Whoa.
Did you refer to her as Tharkon?
I refer to her as Tharkon.
You two are the only two who have referred
I
to
haven't
me
referred to her as anything.
That's true.
I haven't talked to her.
That's true. She says to Mordok, she says, "You referred to me by my title, which tells me that you are worldly and have seen things. Tell me your story." Is Mordok there? Did we lose Mordok?
Mordok.
Yeah,
Kind
I'm here. I'm just trying to.
Trying to think of what to say.
Yeah, that kind of came out of nowhere. Pregnant pause.
The pizza's really good.
The pizza's really good. Yeah.
There you go.
Heck, please. Narcon. I was originally. Oh, I was a dirt farmer. I'm making this up as I go. So,
Just let me know if you're lying, because that matters.
oh, I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
Didn't we say we were supposed to be in a zone of truth?
No.
No. No, the Zone of Truth thing was they talked to somebody from Thay in a Zone of Truth, so they knew that Thay wasn't gonna backstab us and kill us while we were down here.
Mhm.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Something like that.
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, when I was younger, I was originally fooled by these cultists and joined them with great glee until they turned on me and killed my family. At which point my mission became to kill as many of them as I possibly could, which I have done with great glee. I've met these fine companions, and we have attempted to thwart them at every turn, but as I said earlier, we are few and they are many. And the addition of the mighty Thayan Republic? No, not Republic. They'd be a, whatever you call it, despot.
Empire?
Empire, yeah. Empire would be of great assistance to Faerun, or we will all perish if they manage to summon Tiamat.
Thayan Magocracy.
Magocracy?
Yeah,
Well,
like
that's a new,
Yeah, it's
that's
a
new
mage
word.
that's
yeah,
the
mage-ocracy.
Ah,
Hmm.
cool. New word today.
Yeah, there you go. So she says, so let me be clear. You came here with the knowledge that you were associated with the enemies that we had described, and yet you came anyway and have offered this knowledge without any incentive. Is that correct?
Yes, Tharkon.
Bold. Very bold. Foolish, but very bold. She says. And yet you have slaughtered them with glee, you've said. Many of them. This pleases us. This pleases us very much. She looks over at Patron and says, tell us, why have you come here?
Oh, little bit of wanderlust, but mostly just to stop the cult.
She drinks from her goblet again, sets it down. Just to stop the cult. How noble. Very interesting. She looks over to Rillick, who's eating the fish, and says, why are you here?
any enemy of the cult is a friend of mine.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
You could say that.
How very poetic. How very, very poetic indeed. She gestures to Baelor. I feel that you wish to say something to me. Tell me, what do you think of our hospitality and our way of life?
Well, I didn't have anything to say before, but since you asked, you all seem like very nice people so far. I don't know what everyone else is on about.
I find that we are classically misunderstood. We have a rich history. In fact, many of those who wrote the history are still alive to tell the tale. So you can imagine that our history books are quite accurate, sometimes brutally so. She looks to Zed. You are a curious one. Tell me your story.
Well, Farrakhan, where do I begin?
And Zed then proceeds to start telling a story from when he was an even smaller kobold, getting picked on by everyone that he knew, and just admired the dragons that would fly over his family's land, and how he just admired them and saw the great power and just wanted to be that, because he lived such a small and sad little life, being the smallest of the family. And he, this story elaborates and continues. We're gonna 80s montage this.
The Tharkon refills her goblet 3 times throughout this entire thing,
and he proceeds to tell the story of sitting down with his family, like, I'm going to study how to become a dragon. And his family was like, that's very bold of you. And so he leaves. And then, again, more 80s montage, walking through mountains and swamps and forests, exploring Sword Coast, where he then proceeds to, like, hit all the great highlights of the journey so far.
And yeah, and you know what? I didn't really want to come here, but I got good friends now, and I got a dragon, and I got I got some colored wax and a parchment, and I'm drawing you a picture, and yeah, I'm just kind of here for the ride.
The elf this time. Oh, your stories. I was changing vintages.
You want to hear a dragon fact?
Are we about to give the Tharkon a dragon fact?
Only if she wants one.
She says, "A small kobold, let me explain to you something. I have been around for hundreds of years. I have made the arcane art my playground, my area of study. I have not seen the sun rise nor a dragon take wing in over 400 years. So yes, I would like a dragon fact."
Excellent.
39.
Chat.
Night Divinity's on it.
Chat, I'm cheating. I'm using the bot command from my stream. So it's gonna give us a random. I'm gonna do 2.
Okay. All right, what do we got?
I'm waiting for it to load for whatever reason.
Proceeding to tell stories upon stories upon stories. And
But wait, there's more.
Nightbot's asleep. That's neat.
I guess while we're waiting for that, she will say, so she's gonna ask for each of you. So we'll go down the list and just let me know when everything's working. We'll start with Baylor. She'll say, "So tell me, Why have you come here, and what is it that the great and powerful nation of Thay can do for you? To Baylor.
Well, Tharkorn, if I'm quite honest, I came because my friends came.
I always do enjoy having friends for dinner.
I'm not weird. Well, that's little uncomfortable, but moving on. Shoot, I lost my train of thought here.
How very Baylor.
Yeah. If you are in alliance with what you say you are, then I absolutely support our cause, and will remain a steadfast ally.
Roll me a persuasion check.
I got it. So I took the book. My book was buried, and I grabbed the second volume. I'm not even sure who B. Hammett is, but I wanted to get you an original OG classic, and I got, just for your troubles, I found two because they're kind of related.
All right. What are our dragon facts? And we'll get back to Baylor in just a second.
Did you know that in Japanese and Chinese culture, dragons are a sign of good fortune?
Okay.
In fact, the ancient Japanese believed that dragons looked like serpents, and they were known to be water gods. Dragon facts.
Very nice. So Baylor rolled a 20.
I mean, Baylor wasn't lying.
Yeah.
But
I can tell. While there is, and I hope that you do not take offense.
Just don't call it stupid.
An aura of simplicity about you.
that is so disrespectful.
And yet,
there is an aura of simplicity about you. Your words ring true. I do believe that you and I and Thay could do great things together. And she'll kind of like tilt her head to you. The whole time, by the way, that she was listening to Zed's like story, she started like using mending to like put the crack, like to like fix the crack in the table, and then like swirling her glass around and like, as I mentioned, refilling it multiple times. She gestures to Mordok and says, "Why have you come here? And what can Thay and I do for you?"
Tharkon, we were sent here, as you know, by the Council of Waterdeep.
Yes.
What you could do for me is nothing. However, you can help the Council and the rest of us fight back this cult. And that is what our mission is.
So she will let you roll persuasion. Maybe. Okay. She looks at you and says, "Indeed. Thay and the Council of Waterdeep. There is a certain ring to it. We will ponder your thoughts." And with that, she will look to Patron. What could we offer you?
I believe, for the most part, other than the help in taking care of the cult, we have all we need.
And what about after the cult is dealt with? Where then will our alliance lay? Will it continue or end abruptly? I can say.
I would hope continue. I feel like Waterdeep may benefit from it.
Roll persuasion. Okay. So we have from Baylor, we have a 20. From Mordock, we have a 19. And from Patron, we have a 17. We shall consider this.
Bet you didn't think I was trained in persuasion.
All of you have a +6. It's ridiculous. Looks to Rillick. And what can we offer to you, Avian One? Perhaps eternal life along with flight. And she kind of like licks the blood from her lips.
I do not want that at all.
No, wait, eternal life, long time to kill cultists.
My hope is to get that finished fairly quickly and efficiently, if we can.
I understand.
I know that you could any help, aid, as far as swords, as like men, soldiers, you could spare, or if nothing else, anything that you could give to us in order to help us more efficiently get rid of cultists and the dragons they serve.
Make me a persuasion check.
You were talking about everyone having 6s.
+6. Rolls an at 20 anyway. Holy, there it is.
Let's go!
That's the +0.
Perhaps we could arrange for some mutually beneficial opportunities. So, Zed, she'll look to you finally and say, what would a kobold ask of Thay? What indeed would you ask of us?
Well, Farrakhan, I'm a bit of a simpleton. And when this is all said and done, and we get the job done, and we get everything, and the whole good things there, this, that, and the other, I would like one frozen dairy treat, in which the frozen dairy is betwixt, so word I learned, betwixt two cake-like substances smushed together.
Are you trying to ask for an ice cream sandwich?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I would like an ice cream sandwich when this is all done.
I will speak with my chef. Roll me persuasion.
Now, you've seen the 6s. You've seen the 0.
But have you seen the
We
negative
all
one?
know. We all know that Zed has never ever been a charismatic individual. Yes, here is the still rolls a 17. Let's go.
Let's go, gang. Come on.
With the -1.
Very interesting.
If I could have I probably should have made it not an 8. I should have made Zed's charisma like a 4. But it is what it is.
I see.
One frozen dairy treat. That's all I want.
She looks around and says, "You have given me much to consider. But you must understand that an alliance with Waterdeep would be tenuous at best. We must weigh things as we have a much..."
Is that a milk joke?
She says, "We must weigh things as we have a much longer and wider view of the world, as opposed to the mortals that exist and live in Waterdeep. And as such, we must consider what this would mean, what a potential alliance would mean for Thay, and whether it is beneficial to us or just to you. But your arguments have given me pause. I will consider and I will speak with Zostom on your behalf and render my decision in the morning. You are dismissed. She stands, the rest of the Red Wizards stand. I do hope that you enjoy the remainder of your stay.
Wait, Farrakhan, I made you something.
What is it?
I'm gonna drop it into memes. Hold on.
Oh no. Oh, it's a little picture. Okay. It's a little picture of a house and a sun.
Yep.
All right.
I worked on this. I worked on this the entire time we were talking.
All right. So she looks at it and she's just like. She looks like at the sun that's in this picture and it's just like tasteful. I will, and she takes it and she sets it on a tray, on the same tray that has the dagger on it. She says, I will cherish it always. And with that, she turns and just gracefully floats out of the room.
Wait, you want me to sign it?
The servant bends down and you can sign it if you want.
I'm gonna sign it and I'll upload a new one.
So we just have a little bit of time left, but we can run through this real quick. That night, each of you are awakening with terrible nightmares. I need everyone to make a wisdom saving throw.
It would be.
All right. Let's see here. We got 2. So, Patron, you are racked with terrible dreams. Zed, you are racked with terrible dreams. But you're fine, ultimately. I just need one from Mordock.
Am I racked with terrible dreams?
No, you get a special thing.
Come on.
Mordock, you have terrible dreams. 29? Get out. I'm just going to go home.
30.
And a 30! Wild.
Jesus.
I'm just going to hang on. You need to see these rolls. Like, ridiculous, right? Can you scroll up real quick and show the previous rolls, too, for the persuasion checks? Because they're silly. Incredible. Incredible. All right.
To be fair, wisdom is definitely what me and Mordog do.
Yeah, no. You, Zed, and are all the wisdom folks, but Zed only has a +2. Yeah. All right. Anyways, all right. So just Rillick and Baylor.
I'm dexterous.
The dex. All right. So Rillick. That night, you are confronted by a vision of a pale red wizard that says, "We have further questions for you," and draws a small dagger. You are actually... I absolutely love this picture because it's creepy. So the characters are like stuck in with all these chains and tentacles holding on to you, and they're asking you questions. So they are going to try to pump you for some information real quick. They ask,
I got news. Baylor is actually an idiot.
Nice. So they ask Rillick the first question, which is, they ask, why have you come to Thay? Make me a persuasion roll. As you are being, like, magically tortured by the dream spell. And tell me what Rillick says.
Oh God. He says that.
Just screams.
Yeah. It's just like, caw.
The other red
Screams
wizards
and bursts.
observe placidly. Tell us what you know about the rogue Wrath Mondar.
I know nothing of Wrath Mondar.
Alright, we're going to hop over to Baelor. Tell us about your past. Where did you come from, your former associates?
Well, that's a good question.
The hooks dig in deeper into your flesh.
Yeah. Well, you see, my the family business happens to be the cult stuff.
Persuasion?
I mean, that's the God's honest truth.
I know it is. Very nice. And yet another former cultist. Why did you leave the cult?
Well, so in my family, there is one who is anointed, blessed. There's a word for it, with a special ability, if you will, and they are to rule the family. And I wanted to go in a direction that they did not.
The
I
hooks dig in deeper and says, "Get to the point before I do."
I was actually just arriving at the point. They wanted to continue doing coal stuff. I did not, so I left.
I see. Back to Rillick. Tell us what your attitude is. Tell us how you feel about our savior Zaztam. And make me that persuasion check.
Yeah, I know nothing of Zaztam.
Okay.
I have no opinion.
Okay. You just scream again.
Yep.
Okay. And after I pump trying to get more information from you, like trying to literally rip, you can feel the hooks digging into you. You awaken, and you wake up screaming, drenched in sweat. There's on your back where the hooks were digging in. There's blood on the sheets. Although you show no visible wounds. Also, each of you will take some psychic damage. And also, you each take... well, actually, you succeeded, you failed. Rillick, you take... each of you just take one level in exhaustion.
Woof.
So, both Rillick and Baelor, the two of you awaken, and you have dark, deathly pallor and dark, hollow-looking eyes. The rest of you just had a rough sleep. All right.
Is everyone taking the exhaustion?
No, just Rillick and Baelor. The two of you
Just the
pass.
two?
Yeah, you just have rough. You have rough dreams.
One level of exhaustion.
Just one.
Not to bring up more avian facts or anything, but I don't think birds sweat.
There's just feathers everywhere.
Molted.
You molted, yeah.
What does one level of exhaustion do?
Disadvantage on skill checks.
Come on. How much psychic damage did we take?
I'm going to tell you something right now. I am very pleased because this is the first party that this has happened to. In the morning, Iseldra Yeth is not there. She is elsewhere. And you are greeted instead by my Nin. And she says, and one of the other previous wizards. She says, I do hope that you were able to get a good night's sleep. That you were not disturbed during your rest.
Well, I didn't sleep very well. Like,
I have spoken to the Tharkon, who has spoken to Zastan. And we will aid the people of the Sword Coast. And I will return with you to Waterdeep. And with that, she says, when breakfast is concluded, she walks out, and she has you all hold hands again, and then she
Do we need to do the contract thing where we make sure they're not trying to double cross us?
No.
Okay.
She's teleporting you back. She's going with you. And as you teleport back to Waterdeep, and her eyes roll back in her head, and she's super creepy, and then whoosh, you're back in Waterdeep. High above in the tower, the Thearch looks into her mirror and can see 2 red pinpricks eyes, which belong to the Lich Lord Zastam. And he speaks, his voice raspy. What do you think of our new adventurers? And the Thearch says, she kind of leans back and she looks at the wall next to where the mirror is. And there is sitting a little picture of a house with the sun shining. And she says, I think they will accomplish our tasks, and that our alliance will bear unexpected fruit. And that's where we're going to end it for tonight.
Nice.
All right. And that is it. Does anyone have anything before we do our sign off?
Nope.
All right. Next week is a council session. Very excited. This is the last council session of this campaign. Very excited for that. Been very happy with all of our counselors who've been able to make it and have really contributed to me not just having to have conversations with myself, which is weird. So that's been a lot of fun and has been great. If you like what we do here at Open Heart Games, you can help us out in several ways. First, you can follow us and like us on our Facebook page and on our Instagram, which heavily features our cat, Elspeth. You can also, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can subscribe and ring that bell for notifications on our YouTube page. You can also, right here on Twitch, you can follow us and also subscribe. And if you have an Amazon Prime account, you can subscribe for free with it. It doesn't cost you a dime. Also, one of the big things that we do is we raise money for children's hospitals, and specifically our Children's Miracle Network Hospital, Roanoke Carillion Children's, via the Extra Life charity, and that is right here. You can go to extra-life.org/team/open-heart-games, and you can donate. Our goal this year is our most ambitious. It's right here. We are trying to raise $5,000 for our local children's hospital, and we can't do it without your help. So, thank you so much for all the support, for hanging out with us in chat. Have a great one, and of course, take heart.